This video is going to show you how to get started with the image formats assignment for Web Design 1. Once you're logged into the Web Design 1 course in Blackboard, go ahead and click on Assignments and then scroll down to Image Formats. This one is a little bit different than ones that you have done in the past. There isn't going to be an example file here, and that's because everyone is going to have one that looks a little bit different. So to start, let's go ahead and right click on the root starting folder there. We'll do save link as and save it into your Web 1. This is assignments. So I want to go to my Web 1 folder, assignments, unzip the image formats, and then I will delete the zip file. As usual, I'm going to go ahead and open up the index file. So what's different with this assignment is a lot of your instructions are actually on this HTML file. So we did these first two, and then it says format and save the images as indicated on index.html. Follow all instructions according to this page. You're allowed to change or add colors as you see fit. You will have to style the type as follows. So I tell you to style the H1, the H2, the paragraph. Now I say it should have a serif font. Now that's referring to a font stack. So you can't just go in and type serif. You have to actually say font stack. So, or put in a font stack. So serif, like Times New Roman is a serif font. So you would have to choose, you don't have to choose that one, but you would have to choose one. Okay, so let's take a look at this in Dreamweaver. Okay, so the CSS is already linked for you, and there is some CSS that's already done. I put in a bunch of comments telling you not to edit these lines, so please do not do anything with the stuff that I say don't edit. You will have to change your title. In this case, it could just be something like preparing images for the web. Okay, so the first one, it says look in the working folder, locate icecream.psd, open it in Photoshop, prepare it for a website by checking the color mode and resolution. Remove the white background from the image. Oh, so this is going to go back to a little bit of your digital imaging knowledge or what you know from Photoshop. So even if you didn't take the class, it's still assumed that you know how to do this, so you're going to have to be able to do that. Save for web as the correct file format to have a transparent background. Save the file in the correct folder. Place the image after the closing paragraph tag. Add a class called 1 in CSS. Don't let it scale past its original pixel amount. So basically, I'm putting a comment here telling you where to place this image. So let's take a look. Working. There's an icecream.psd. So you're going to have to come in here and remove the background after you check the color profile, the color space, and the resolution. And then you're going to delete the background, save it for web properly, and then put it in here. Now, one thing I will point out to you, when it says have a class called 1, you cannot make it the number 1. You have to spell out the word 1. So whenever you do this, you have to write it like that. Okay, and then you would have your SRC, and I don't have an SRC, but you would have your alt. Okay, it doesn't matter what order these attributes and values go in, as long as like this grouping, it could be here, I could have it here, just as long as there's spaces between them, it really doesn't matter. All right, so you will put that there, and then you just go through the rest of these files. It tells you to do certain things to them. When it says don't let it scale past its original pixel amount, well, you're going to have to look in Photoshop and find out what the pixel width was and put that as your max width. So you'll go through all of these instructions and you're going to have to do what it's telling you to do. Some of it is going to be in Illustrator, some of it is going to be in Photoshop. In some cases, I'm going to let you create your own artwork. So show me what you got. Make it something really creative. Have fun with it. And you're going to do that for both Photoshop and Illustrator. I also am going to ask you to change the background. So if you notice, there is a yellow, kind of a gross color background right there. So instead of a color, place an image or graphic that will repeat on the page or will pleasantly fill the browser window. So something that's controlled with CSS. Make your own texture, graphic, or use your own photograph. The size is up to you. If it does not look seamless, repeating like wallpaper down the length of the page or horizontally, fix it in Photoshop or Illustrator until it does. Or consider adjusting the background size property in CSS. Creativity counts. Optionally, you could have the background image fill the entire area and not repeat, but it should expand to fill the browser window at all sizes. So what I'm basically saying is I want you to put a background image in instead of this yellow. And you will do that. Oops, I started to type some stuff in there. Oops. You will do that right here. So you can get rid of the background. You can get rid of the background color. Oops, it's in there twice. There we go. Okay, so you will get rid of the background color and you will put in a background image instead. Then it does tell you to do a few other things here. Do not forget to style your type. Right, you do need to style text. I'm not going to save this because I feel like I don't want to save any of that. There we go. Okay, I feel like it kind of combined these two things. Okay, so here is where you put the background image. All right, so you can get rid of this background color and you would put the background image in here. Something that was kind of like silly that was happening. So that's why I just closed that file without saving it. Okay, so again, put the background image or pattern here after you save it. So that's why everyone's is going to look a little bit different because you're all styling the type differently and you are changing the background and you're adding some different things in here. So really kind of want you to play around with it and be creative, but also make it look nice. Okay, so creativity and aesthetics overall, making a good design is going to matter. If your background color would look better with these boxes being, I don't know, blue, well, in your CSS, that's this part right here, right? And it doesn't have a comment saying you can't edit it. So this right here is that green color. So you could always come in and just to show you, I'll make it really crazy red. Yikes, look at that. So you could change the background color there if you wanted to, or if you wanted to give it a border, or you just kind of want to play around a little bit, totally fine. So that is how you do that assignment. When you're done, make sure you do a file save all. Once you do that file save all, come in here and refresh, make sure it looks the way that it's supposed to. And then whenever you're done, let me minimize these windows so they don't get in the way. Whenever you're done, basically I do not want this working folder at all anymore. So pay attention to this because this is going to be a little bit different. You're going to take this working folder and you're going to take it out for a second. Okay, did you see what I did there? Let me do that again. All right, so this is the image formats. I do not want this working folder. It's going to make it much longer for me to download your files. Plus, you wouldn't be uploading this anyway. Take your working folder and just throw it onto your desktop somewhere for now. Then right-click on the image formats folder and go down to compress. And then you can take working and put it back into your image formats folder. So now the file that you submit to me will not have that. And then it tells you how to name it. So it's 04 images last name. So then you would name that 04 images last name, and then you would upload it, and then everything would be great. If you want to, you can also upload the grade sheet so that way you know and receive any feedback that I might need to give you. So that is how you would complete the image formats assignment. So hopefully you have a little bit of fun with this one. Gives you a chance to kind of do something a little bit different than what you did. As always, if you have questions, feel free to ask during class or email or remind message. That is it, guys. Have a good one.